Welcome to episode 67 of the David and Hillary Show.
Yeah, this week we're going to feature a large landscaping project that we started late winter and finished up this spring.
Yeah, and of course, had a tiny little interruption while you were in the hospital.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true, but at least it didn't have any major life events tied to it with a super hard deadline.
Right. Oh, wait. No, it
It
did.
did.
It did. I had a wedding attached to it.
It did. Well, it was a pretty exciting adventure, but we're going to talk about it, and I think you'll find it interesting. So we should probably get to it.
All right, let's do this.
Well, our last episode, we talked about my heart attack.
Yes.
And so if you missed that, you might want to go back and check it out. It's, we got a lot of good comments that it was terrifying, that it was interesting, that parts of it were funny, which we were hoping.
And a lot of people related. A lot of people shared about their heart attacks.
Friends and
Yes.
family that have also had heart attacks. And I don't recommend it. And so I do want to circle back and mention one thing. In the midst of the podcast, we had notes and stuff, but I just completely and totally blanked on the procedure heart catheterization, which is where they go in with a tool and they examine your arteries to see where the problems might be. And then, and I'm not an expert on this, but a lot of people know about this. When they find blockages and problems, they can put stents in, which expand. And, when the artery's this big and then there's gunk in there that makes it that big and not very much blood's getting through, that's a problem. And that is what was going on in my heart. I had to have 4 stents put in, which I told you last time. But they put the stents in and then expand them, and it opens up so that the blood can get through better. Again, and that's why I'm still here, and that's why I feel so much better. And I'm thankful for the doctor and his team and
Yes.
for everyone who was involved in all of that. I was telling someone about my experience, and I said, well, you're not a whole lot younger than I am, and this person was talking about how they don't like to go to the doctor, and I said, you probably should go and maybe talk to them and just see, because people that have been having heart attacks, if you might make sense to have a heart catheterization, because and this is something you have to figure out with your doctor. But if you can have them go in and examine, and if you need a stent, put it in and do the work without the heart attack, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Heart attacks are painful, and
You could skip the ride to the ER.
well, just from I'm not going to really get into the financial part of it. We did get the hospital bill. That was really fun. But you could skip paying for the ambulance. You could skip paying for the ER visit. You could just pay for the stuff that you actually need.
That's right.
And
do it in the daytime. None of this 3 a.m. kind of thing. Go at a reasonable hour. That's right.
Heart catheterization. So,
Highly recommend.
I'm not a medical professional, but you might want to check that out if you think that you could be in the market for a heart attack, because you don't want one.
That's right.
All right.
We also wanted to say thank you for so many friends and family who reached out with visits, with meals, with flowers. So many well wishes on just the posting and comments.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So grateful for all the people have been so kind. So grateful.
It's really humbling, and makes you feel good when you know that people really care.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the number of people that were, saying like, well, I'm glad you're still here. So me too. And thank you.
Some specific people who stepped in to help us to finish that project at the end.
The project that we're getting ready to talk about,
Yeah.
The heart attack. I mean, we just kind of quickly mentioned this huge job. There was a wedding on May 1st at the house, and all this stuff had to be done. And we were in great shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 weeks out, we were like, we're going to have all this stuff done. No problem.
No problem.
Because we were there. We were there for the better part of 8 weeks. It was huge. And we were there and gone and working on some other people's projects at this, at the same time. But it was the biggest job we'd ever done. And we're timing it out and we're like, we're golden. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
Then I had the heart attack and missed 5 days of work. And we're like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
How are we going to get all this done? And a lot of people stepped up to help out, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about that. But on a personal level, we had some friends who just volunteered and said, I can plant plants. I can, I could help out a little. And so we wanted, especially whether it was planting or something else, but Ray, Patricia, Julie, Nick, and Greg, you guys really stepped up, and
thank you.
Just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah.
That was really great.
Yeah. The Lord really sent in the reinforcements.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. He made it happen, and we're very, very thankful.
Yeah, I had a really great prayer meeting one night with the Lord all by myself, where super extravagant prayer. It basically is like, Lord, I can't do this.
Yep.
You weren't feeling good. You were still recovering. And I was like, oh, don't worry. We can take care of this. We'll get this. I can help. And then I was like, no, I can't do this. And so I just did. I just prayed. I was like,
yourself.
Lord, I can't do this. I take it back. I can't. And I'm not gonna do this unless you help me. And you know what? Wow, did he really step in? The Lord really
did.
Really stepped in and sent help. And I'm so grateful.
Well, I'm proud of you. Yeah. I'm proud of you for stepping up, and I'm really thankful for friends and other professionals who were already a part of the project and just made sure that they went the extra mile to make sure everything happened the way it should by the deadline.
Yes.
And so
that's good stuff.
thank you. So I first went out to look at this project in mid-February. It was cold.
Yep.
And there wasn't a whole lot going on. I mean, it was a blank slate as far as landscaping goes. So just a real quick rundown on this project. I'm friends with some general contractors who I've done a little bit of work for, but they don't need my services on a lot of the jobs that they do. Well, on this one, I got a call. I said, hey, do you want to come out and give us a bid on this? It's a pretty big job. I was like, okay. So these folks bought a house in the country. They expanded the house, tore out the swimming pool, had a new swimming pool put in, had an incredible patio area put in around the pool. There was a barn that wasn't in great shape. They redid the barn, added a greenhouse, did all kinds of grading work. I'm forgetting things. It was a huge project for them.
Right.
Then they had me come out and look at it. Well, what do they want? Well, I met with the homeowner. They wanted the whole front of the house landscaped, but landscaped out a ways from the house and really nicely done. And flagstone patio, or not patio, but a flagstone pathway. I mean, it was extensive. And then they ended up wanting an herb garden, and they were putting in a greenhouse in the back. Around the greenhouse, we're going to have 20 raised beds. So if you ever thought, I'm going to grow some tomatoes and peppers or whatever, and you want to do raised beds, you probably have 2 or 3. Maybe somebody's got 6 or 8 raised beds. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Well, they wanted to do 20 raised beds, and they wanted us to fill them with the right kind of dirt and purchase and plant all the fruits and vegetables to go in them. And then around this, there's going to be a fence, and we want a cut flower garden, meaning I want flowers all the way around the fence, so that we could come out and cut and make vases. Oh, and when I say all the way around the fence, I mean both sides of the fence. So I'm just saying it the way I'm saying it because I was blown away by how big the project was.
Yeah. And I didn't go that day. We can't quite remember. I'm sure that I had a good reason. I was probably doing something. I was working on paperwork, but I couldn't go that day.
Right.
And when you came back and told me, I thought, well, we always pray about our jobs, and we have one specific prayer that we say quite a bit, and
Yep.
that is, Lord, please give us the jobs that we're supposed to have, and
Keep us
keep us
away.
away from the ones we are not supposed to have.
Right.
And I'm just telling you right now, when you came back and told me about that job, I was like, oh, please let this not be a job we're supposed to do. It just sounded overwhelming.
Well,
Overwhelming. I mean, it was so much stuff.
at that point, looking at it, I was thinking, if we get this, it'll be the biggest job we've ever done. And that's just a little overwhelming. It's exciting, but we've been doing this long enough. I would just not have thought that we would, if we were going to do jobs that big, it would have happened before now. So it was a little overwhelming, but I bid on it. We got it. And I'll just go ahead and say this now. The general contractors, the homeowners, everyone involved, even the other subcontractors that we had to coordinate with were just such good people and so reasonable and easy to get along with, that the whole experience, even though parts of it were a little stressful just to do something that big and to have the deadlines and everything, but even before the heart attack, but overall it really was great, because I have worked with general contractors and other subcontractors before, and it can be okay. A lot of times the communication is not great and the stress level is really high.
And sometimes other people, like on this project, it felt like everybody was focused on the goal of succeeding. I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. It wasn't like you against them. It was everybody for the project. And you could feel that. It was definitely a team effort, not an us against them
Right.
kind of spirit. You know what I mean?
Right. And how can we help you?
Yes.
What's the best way for me to do my job that I'm not making your job harder? It was really great.
And you know what gave me peace when we did get the job, and I thought, okay, well, sink or swim, here we go. I in my mind, I kind of broke down every project, and I thought, oh, well, if someone asked you to do that little piece, yeah, for sure, we can do that.
Yep.
That little piece, oh, yeah, we could totally do that. Like every little piece of the puzzle, I thought, oh, we actually know how to do all of that. It's just the combination of it
Yep.
in the time frame with the hard deadline
Yeah. With
and
the
a
wedding.
life event. Yeah.
Yeah. Which we knew about the wedding.
Yep.
We didn't know about the heart attack.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's look at some pictures.
Okay. All right.
When I first went out, like I said, it's kind of a blank slate. So here's the front of the house after the addition. And you can see it's just it's February. So it's kind of scrubby grass and dirt and not a lot happening there. Here it is kind of from the other angle. So you can kind of see the grade change. So this path that they talked about, doing a flagstone path from the parking area up to the front door, we could do it on a slope, but I thought, if we're doing a stone path, I have nowhere to get these cut stone steps. They're going to look really cool. And I would rather have steps worked in there.
Yes.
So that was my idea. And then if you see down by the garage in the lower right, we were going to have to bring in fill dirt in order to make the landscaping look right, in order to do the grade correctly. But then all of that can't spill out onto the parking area, so we're going to need to put a wall there. So that was going to be part of the project as well. Here's another, just to give you a little bit better view of what we kind of had to work with. And then here's the other end of the house. They wanted the landscaping to kind of go up to the front door, but then also on the left side and to wrap around. You can see that unit with the fan in it. That's part of the HVAC system. And beyond that is another brick wall that it's like a basement egress. Anyway, You can see there's machines out there. There's all kinds of trenches and all kinds of crazy stuff going on, site work for the house. And so here's the video after. There's the brick wall that we did. There's the landscaping. There was another gentleman that did a ton of work out there. He put in this fence and gate. Here's our flagstone patio, and you can see the path lights. We also did a lighting package in the front. Unfortunately, I don't have pictures at night, but I mean, there was all just dirt and grass, and now it looks like this. So we've got ornamental trees, we've got shrubs, we've got perennials. Here are the steps, of course, the stone steps and the flagstone, and then this wall to the right, this curved natural rock wall. There's a weeping cherry right there. That's going to look amazing in the spring. And we tried to incorporate some color. This Bloodgood Japanese maple, I think, is going to be really great right there. So
Especially as it grows and gets so big.
Yeah.
That's going to be gorgeous.
There's a deciduous magnolia that also blooms in the spring. They wanted landscaping on the outside of the path as well, so that when you did the path up to the house, that you feel like you're going through the landscaping. And here we are up to approaching the front door. So we did irises and, and there's a wildflower path going out to the front. We'll circle back to that and talk about that in a minute. But we tried to put in landscaping, some shrubs, some ornamental trees, and also perennials that would bloom at different times. So let's go back and take a look at some still pictures here. This one kind of helps you to see the gate that the other gentleman built that kind of sets that off. I think that's pretty cool. And then here we've got Weigela that had already bloomed, a beautiful rose pink color. Quite a few of those involved in the landscape, and those are just on the other side of the pathway. Beyond that, we have hydrangeas, which are, especially when they've been transplanted, they're not blooming yet, but those look great. And then you can just kind of see we've got skip laurels up by the house. And in the next picture, you get a little bit better view of the pathway and how we did have the landscaping go out to the left away from the house, the natural stone steps, and you can kind of see that weeping cherry up behind the curved natural stone wall. There's another picture just to, I subcontracted with my buddy Abner to do the walkway and the steps, and they just did a fabulous job. And there's a close up of the wall and the cherry, and beyond that, the magnolia. They're kind of on the left. All different kinds of shrubs, different colors, and then of course the perennials. And here we'll take just a second and look at the Bloodgood Japanese maple. That will probably get big enough in a few years to almost touch that top window and just kind of fill that space. I think it's going to be really beautiful there. And if you go, it's hard to tell in this picture, that's about 12 feet tall. But if you go shopping for a Japanese, Bloodgood Japanese maple, it's often hard to find one that's bigger than about 4 feet. So
that was one of the things with this project, is they really wanted well-established plants
right
from the beginning. So we had to source all of those.
We did a lot of looking and a lot of asking and calling and talking to people. And I was so thrilled when we found this one, about 3 times bigger than what you can find Bloodgoods tiny. Like sometimes they'll just throw them in a pot and sell them at Home Depot, and they're like 2 feet tall.
Right. And they'll grow, but
they will, but it takes a while.
Yeah.
So we were really happy to find that one. You mentioned all the looking that we did. I think a lot of times people think if you're a landscaper, you just have your one place that you go to and get everything. But the landscaping that we do, we really like to kind of fashion each presentation for each job and to try to help people get what they're looking for. And I like to come up with interesting designs. And so we typically buy from multiple places, but never as many as we did on this job. By the time we finished this job, we had sourced plant material from no less than 9 different nurseries. I'm including Home Depot and Lowe's in that, but
Right.
around Middle Tennessee. The northernmost one and the southernmost one were probably an hour and a half apart.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we'll just run over here to this place 5 minutes from our house and get everything we need. Doesn't work like that.
Well, and a lot of places didn't have what we needed
Right.
because it wasn't quite the season for it yet.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we were buying things. We were waiting, and we were like vultures. And as soon as things
yeah.
would get out on the shelf, you some of those clerks at Home Depot, we'd stroll out with a huge order, and they're like, okay, see you later. I was like, see you in a minute.
And we go get another cart. There was more than once, I think we did the cart, went out, put it in the trailer, went back and shopped some more because you can't push all of that.
Right.
And there's no easy way to do that, especially at a place like Home Depot
Yeah.
where we did like 3 carts.
Yeah.
And by the end, they're just laughing like, it's you again. I almost
Yeah.
felt sorry for we would find something we really wanted and we would buy like I'm going to buy a dozen of these and these and these.
Yeah.
And then the next person
Yeah.
comes through and like, sorry, this
Yeah.
is what we do.
That one gentleman was so funny because he said, "Okay, see you later." I said, "See you in a minute," and I don't think he thought I knew what I was talking about. But
Well,
then we
I don't
came
think English was
through.
his first language.
It
And that was
wasn't.
part of why he
Yeah,
didn't get it.
and so then we came through again. He's like, "Oh, okay, see you in a minute," and then he came and found me. He's like, "I'm leaving now."
Because we were shopping
We were
again.
still shopping again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That was funny.
he was really sweet.
Well, we've got so many pictures. I don't remember what's next. This is up by the front door. That taller tree there is a crepe myrtle, which if you're not familiar, if you're not from the South, that's going to bloom probably June, and it's going to look really pretty. But you
Yeah.
can also see the irises are in bloom there, and we put quite a few daylilies throughout the project that are just about ready to bloom. So
If you're in the Middle Tennessee area, Iris City Gardens
yeah,
is a fun place. You want to go, just Google it, check it out. It's a fun place to go shop and really just hang out. They have gardens you could just walk through.
yep.
So, but we got a lot of beautiful things from there.
Yeah, we did. This is left of the front door, and you can see I call it a pyramid trellis. I think the proper name for that is an obelisk.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you want to call it. But there's lots of stuff going on there. But that was fun. It took us a while to find the plants that we really wanted for that. And before we switch from this picture, kind of on the left there, as the landscaping goes around the corner, that is a dogwood tree that we put in. That's going to be really pretty next spring.
And I just want to share like a pro tip on that pyramid trellis. We've learned, because we have one of those,
Yep.
you like to put an irrigation head right in the center of that. So it
Yes.
sprays from the inside. Because if you try to spray from the outside, all the daylilies that are shading the feet of the clematis
Yeah.
block the water from getting to the root of the clematis. So I just was super proud of that.
Yeah.
It's
Let's show the
gonna-
next picture.
It's going to be great.
Oh, okay. So here's the left side of the landscaping in a different angle, and then what looks like is right next to the house is actually way back. That landscaping goes back, I don't know, 20 or 25 feet past the front corner of the house. That's actually a Royal Raindrops crabapple, and that's gonna. It was blooming when we planted it, and I think that's just gonna really look amazing back there.
Yep, I want one.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get one. There's the close up of the clematis on the trellis, the obelisk, and so we had burgundy clematis and then the striped pink one, and on different sides. So there's burgundy on opposite sides and then the pink on opposite sides. And like Hillary said, there's a irrigation head in the middle that pops up and just sprays in 360 degrees so that it gets the roots of all the clematis. And then on the outside, the reason we have daylilies going all the way around there is because clematis like to be in the sun, but they like their feet shaded. If you don't have anything covering up the roots of the clematis, a lot of times they won't do as well.
Yep, I think it's so
So-
hot.
So that's how you make sure that the clematis get watered, as you water it from inside.
Yep.
And this is just one of the irises that was blooming when we planted it. We tried to just pick out really pretty stuff that they could really enjoy. There again is the left side of the landscaping from just a little bit different perspective. And here we are to the right of the front door. This tallest one there by the corner of the porch, again, is the
that a Jane?
Jane magnolia. It'll get purple
Yeah.
blooms on it in the spring. And here we are just kind of looking back from where we started. You can see that cherry tree again on the left side of the path. Just trying to give you kind of a good view of everything and some of the perennials that we added in. Now, if you saw in the video, when we cut off the video, there were some flowers out in the yard. So if you're wondering, well, what was that about? So we talked about this wedding.
Yes.
So what happened on May 1st, we weren't there, but what was supposed to happen was that the bride was going to come out the front door of the house, walk down the steps, down the path that we built, and where the path curved, she was going to go straight off into the grass and down to this wildflower path. It was the first day I went out there, I learned about the wildflower path.
Was it
And
May 1st or May 3rd? I thought it was the 3rd.
You know what? It was the 3rd.
Yeah, it's the 3rd.
It was the 3rd. We're not even going to talk about this today, but believe it or not, we had another project that had to be done May 1st during
Yeah.
this. And that happened too. And again, thank you to Abner and his guys for helping us with that. So anyway, here's the wildflower path with Hillary. And then here's another video just showing kind of one side, but it's really one of those things that's tough to show you exactly what it looked like. But we tried to incorporate flowers that looked like wildflowers. Some of these are actually annuals. Some of them look a little more formal, but the homeowners loved it. And the bride-to-be, when she came and saw it, she loved it.
loved it.
So we felt really good about how it turned out.
Yeah.
And then here's a picture from out where the actual ceremony was going to happen, looking back at the wildflower path and the house with the finished landscaping. So pretty proud of that.
Yeah. That was a lot.
So much work.
So,
It was worth it.
so much work. Yeah.
All right. So that was a part of this huge job.
Yeah.
Another thing that they actually added after we got out there, we
Right.
secured the landscaping job. We're out there working. Oh, by the way, we think we want to add an herb garden.
Yes.
Okay. What is that going to look like?
Well,
So-
and different from the raised bed garden. They wanted this close to the house.
Yeah.
So for cooking, they could just go grab herbs, be right, instead of going all the way out to the garden.
right.
So,
It's a big property, and some of it was spread out.
yeah. Yep.
So long story short, with a little help from Ethan, with our general contractor, he built these two raised beds, and we filled them with dirt and filled them with herbs and labeled them. And so there's one, and there's the other one. This was the smallest, simplest part of everything that we did
Yes.
out there. And yet, because we are flower gardeners, not so much herb, fruit, and vegetable gardeners, this all was a lot of work because we wanted to make sure that we got it right. And we, again, sourced multiple locations in order to get the right things,
I even did a little research with Chad, a little chat GPT going,
right?
which sort of helpful. We kind of took it with a grain of salt and then did our own thing.
Yeah.
But I love the result. And when Greg and I were out there trying to level these things, I don't think simple was the word that was coming to our mind.
While I was at home resting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made me appreciate you, though, because you do a lot of things that you just make it look easy because you've done it so long and so many times and you know what you're looking for. I've watched you do a lot of things and I'm getting better at doing a lot of those things. But yeah, trying to get these level, and it was a long story, but finally, I'm very pleased. And now with the finished product, there's actually sod in front of those, and they look even better. And
Yeah, you can see
yeah,
the irrigation heads there that pop up and make sure everything gets plenty of water every day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying that. You know, for you've helped me the whole time that we've had this business, but a lot of it for the first part of the 27 years that I've been doing this, it was a little here and there.
yes,
And now you're doing it full time. And so, you know,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of experience doing a lot of these things. But yeah,
I'm getting better.
thankful for the team again. I mean, we coordinated with the irrigation team, but we didn't have to do it, even though we know how to do it. It was nice to work together with everyone.
Well, and these were the irrigation heads where you told me and taught me how to put the heads in or the nozzles
The
in,
nozzles, yeah.
and what they should do and shouldn't do. And I've had so much practice with the control and the controller.
The controller.
And I was like, I made this run. In fact, I have a video of that. We're not showing that, but I was so proud when I made that zone run and do the right thing, and everything got watered. I was like, I can be taught.
It's pretty gratifying.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Good stuff.
Well, another thing that got added partway through was they said, hey, we're putting in this service road driveway in the back of the property. I'm not even going to try to explain that, but I didn't know that was happening, but I didn't have to know. But then they said, oh, in this curve right here, we would like to do a lilac hedge. And I was like, okay. And so we talked about how many feet that was going to take up, and the fact that the homeowner was like, I would really like more established plants, please. And they were approving all my pricing. And I was like, okay, let me go see what I can find. And usually when you go find new lilacs, almost anywhere, they're 2 feet high.
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
that'd be a great size. Yeah.
These are about 4.5 feet high. We were just thrilled to find these, and the homeowner likes them. And so
And what do we have? 9 of them.
9 of them,
So to find 9 large
all
lilacs,
the same,
that was yes, they had
the
to be all
same
the exact
variety,
same
the
variety.
same, roughly the same size.
That was incredible.
And again, we all the grass that you see there is sod that's recently been put in when this picture was taken, and the driveway where my truck is and where the gator is there on the left, that was all new, and so we kind of had to put the bed in and the lilacs and work with the irrigation company again to make sure that they got specifically irrigated separate from the grass and put the mulch in. So that was a whole little mini project that just got added partway through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There they are from the front.
Yep. That's a different angle. And do we have, there's one more.
Oh yeah, then in the middle they were going to put a fence.
Yeah, where if you could see the string, there's a fence going through which we didn't
Yeah.
know that was happening either
Yeah.
until after we had done that. So a lot of surprises on this job, but it all
all
worked
good.
out well.
Yeah, it was all good.
Well, early on when I went out there and was taking pictures, this was the greenhouse that they were putting in. I was like, okay. And you can see that it's on a hill. And they said, well, instead of having a slope, we're going to level it, but then it's going to be terraced. So there'll be 2 levels. And this is where the raised beds are going to go. Well, this is not the best picture in the world, but this was after this whole area was done. So hard to tell from there, but that's terraced. You've got raised beds, you've got a fence, you've got a cutting garden, and grass growing on the slope. So we're going to go through and show you a little more in detail. This is when the raised beds were getting filled. I think I mentioned earlier that they provided the raised beds and then we had to fill them. And we went and we sourced some really great dirt that's specifically made for raised beds. You can see these are empty. And here are the guys who we had 60 yards of bedding mix delivered with a dump truck.
3 loads, right?
Three loads.
3 loads.
3 loads,
With
20 at a
big
time.
Drum
And
truck.
then the only way to get it in the beds was was with a wheelbarrow, one wheelbarrow at a time.
Yeah. And I think in the beginning of the episode, you said there were 20.
Well, that was the original bid.
That was the original bid. And then partway through,
They said, we've redesigned the raised garden beds and we actually want to, well, they didn't say that we want to. They just said we've decided
yeah,
to double
Yes.
it from 20 to 42.
yeah.
So
We're like, okay.
yeah. So
And all this to say, if you're a contractor, if you've worked with them, like it wasn't like the pricing wasn't the problem. They're like, and
Right.
we'll pay you to do
well,
it.
we know the price is going to go up.
Yeah.
I was like,
Not a problem.
okay.
That was never the option. It just
So-
everything just kept expanding.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So we just said, come up with the better. Yeah, and we didn't just double it. I mean, I'm not going to get into that, but we were trying to figure out exactly what do you want, and
Yes.
we will do our best to give it to you. And they were great. So here we're filling in. So they wanted fruits and vegetables. These are grapes, and I built that trellis. I couldn't find a trellis like what I wanted, so I just went and got some furring strips and built it. And if you're in construction, it's like, yeah, no brainer. But of all the things I've done, I've never worked construction, so I was pretty proud of that.
They were adorable.
And I think the next picture here, yeah, these are blackberries. And so this is a little smaller container, a little smaller trellis, but same idea. And then these are strawberries. So this just gives you a little bit of an idea. We did grapes, raspberries, blackberries,
Blueberries.
blueberries. The blueberries didn't need a trellis. Strawberries. And then let's just throw out some names: watermelon,
Pumpkin,
squash,
zucchini.
tomatoes, of course, lots of tomatoes.
Did you say cucumber?
I don't think so.
Cucumber,
Bell peppers, some hot peppers,
red peppers,
corn.
lots of corn,
Four of the bigger ones of sweet corn.
green beans,
Yep.
peas, and then some spinach, lettuce.
Yep. The leafy stuff.
Yep. We did some chives, some garlic. We did. It's been too long.
Well, and we put edible flowers in there, nasturtium.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the volunteers that helped when I was out of commission from the heart attack just insisted they had vegetable gardening experience, and they insisted that we put marigolds.
Marigolds, yeah, which made it look beautiful everywhere. We put marigolds places we didn't need marigolds
to help
So,
keep bugs away.
yeah,
So here's a photo of. It's hard to show everything. I mean, it's so big, and with the two different levels, it's hard to show everything. But you can see we've got trellises for beans to grow up, and in addition to the trellises that I made, we had, I don't even know if we have close-ups of the tomatoes, but we put tomato cages around the tomatoes, and 42 raised
42
beds.
raised beds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was fun / crazy.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a lot of work.
I mean, we have done a lot of landscaping. We've done a little gardening.
Yeah.
And so that was a stretch. That was a little bit of a stretch. But again, the Lord sent people that kind of filled in the gap and really knew what they were doing.
They really
and
did. He really did, and they really helped. It was amazing.
It was perfect.
Well, I'm going to press pause on showing you the site that we worked and show you a couple pictures from our house. Here is our trailer before we took a load of herbs and vegetables and stuff out to the site. So you can see this. I'm standing in the back of the truck taking a picture kind of downward, and you can see all the stuff that's in the trailer. And then beyond that, you see the tables that we built temporarily because we knew that between the front landscaping and the wildflower path and the herb garden and the fruits and vegetables and the cut
garden.
flowers, We were literally going to be buying hundreds and hundreds of plants,
Right.
and we would not be able to necessarily just run out, buy everything, deliver it, and plant it. It was going to have to be done in stages, and were going to be things we knew in advance from having just done smaller projects in the past that it's one of these things. We kind of have a rule: if you're out and you know you need something for the garden, for someone else's garden, for a project, and you're like, oh my gosh, there it is, buy it.
That's right.
Buy it now. Because when you come back tomorrow, it's probably going to be gone.
It will
Somebody
be gone.
else is going to grab it. So we built these tables, and then around the perimeter of the tables, we put in irrigation pipe with stand pipes up, in other words, vertical pipes in the four corners, and put irrigation heads on them. Well, let's look at this photo again, the same one. And you can, if you look closely, you can see those black pipes sticking up. I painted them black so they wouldn't be quite as obnoxious for the neighbors. And you can see the water coming out. They're getting sprayed.
And the reason we built the tables is because we have naughty bunnies. And we knew if we put them all on the ground and just watered them on the ground, the bunnies would come and nibble all these flowers.
Sometimes they'll do the flowers, but especially the herbs and the vegetables
Yes.
and all of that stuff
Yep.
is like, no,
Like, no way.
no, we're not taking a chance on that. And
Yep.
then some of the plants that we bought for this job, but also especially for the other job that had to be done on May 1st, they needed a lot of shade plants.
Right.
And so we took the shade plant. It's hard to tell in this picture, but there's a gap between the front table and the back table. And then in the gap, we could put things down on the ground and they would still get watered, but the table and the flowers on the table would shade the ones in the gap, and then they wouldn't get beat up by the sun. So it ended up working out pretty well. Here's another picture, and then here's one of the back of the pickup truck on a different journey out there where we had flowers. You can recognize some of the flowers from some of the pictures that we showed you. But the truck was full, the trailer was full. I think we have a picture of, this was the trailer on the same on the same trip out. And you can see the table back there is one of them anyway is pretty empty.
Yeah. And
I
one of
rigged
them
up-
still has flowers.
Yeah, I rigged
Yeah.
up a system with the rope because we then put our woven tarp that lets a little air through, but not too much. We put that over, and the rope kept the tarp from sagging down and mashing the plants.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have a picture of that, but here's a picture from the side of the tables, the flower tables that we built. And again, this is the irrigation running, and you can see that gap in between. And right up next to the table that's on the left in this picture, that's where the shade plants would go. And
Again, I'm so thankful we have no HOA.
oh my gosh,
Could you imagine?
I cannot imagine ever living in a neighborhood with an HOA.
They'd never let us in. Like, we've heard of you.
No.
You're not
and
coming.
if you have an HOA and you love it and you think it increases your property value and all that, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. Please don't come to my house and tell
Yeah.
me what I can do with my property and what color my front door can just no.
And
Go,
whether we can build crazy tables and irrigate them for weeks on end.
go find something else to occupy your time. Don't tell me what to do. Okay. Well, here's another video after the cut flowers had been delivered. Look at this crazy pile of flowers, and I don't even think that's all of them, because
No.
you had already gone around and started placing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a real short video, but that's fun to just show. And now this is after we planted. So we planted, this stuff is right around the greenhouse at the top of the hill. They put some flower beds right in there. So you can see everything from some annuals to sunflowers. There's Frank,
Hey, Frank.
the Frankfurter dog. And this side gets a lot more shade. So we've got some begonias in the shade. And then over here, we've got, so these are Eclipse hydrangeas, and that's Nantucket Blue, I believe. You can see the gaps here. There aren't very many gaps around most of it, but especially on the other side of the fence, there are gaps. And what those actually are bulbs like gladiolas. and seeds, wildflower seeds that will pop up and bloom later in the season. So hopefully giving staggered,
Hundreds of seeds.
yes, staggered production of things. We've got rose bushes and phlox and yarrow and veronica. And there's a climbing rose in the corner. Here are the cone flowers that nobody had. We finally found them at Ace Hardware. Yes, we did shop at Ace Hardware for a professional landscaping job. Whoever has it, and if it's good quality,
Delphinium.
yeah, delphinium, catmint.
Some peonies.
This is wisteria that's mostly for looks, but she was really happy about that idea, the homeowner. Blanket flower. And some of them are repeated on the other side of the fence. There was sweet spire, more roses, different colors, and then this red climbing rose in the corner.
We tried to incorporate also, like if she wanted it to be a cutting garden, greenery.
Yeah.
Variegated greenery, just some solid greens, some ferns, I believe, and what was the one that I found?
Dianthus. That's not a greenery, but there's plenty of red dianthus here.
That's the one I'm trying to think of.
Penstemon,
The one that smells so good.
agastacia.
The greenery that's eucalyptus.
Oh, eucalyptus.
Several kinds of eucalyptus.
You did
Yeah.
find some eucalyptus, yeah.
Yeah, I was really excited about that. Like 3 different kinds. I was
So
really
that
excited.
what we did was in that video, we just showed you right around the greenhouse and the inside, and you can kind of see both sides. But yeah, one side of that fence was a little over 200 feet,
Yes.
and they wanted both sides. And so
Yeah.
we were responsible for sourcing, purchasing, transporting, planting over 400 linear feet
Yeah.
of flowers that qualified to be in a cut flower garden
Yeah.
as
One project.
one part of this huge project. And then we have some still pictures too. Here's that climbing rose, but from the outside. Those 2 variegated bushes on either side of that corner are greenery plants. And here you can kind of see the greenhouse and the raised fruit and vegetable beds and the cut flowers around the fence there. And there's another view. And just a little bit more of the same. Just trying to
some
get you.
delphinium and some yarrow
roses.
and roses.
I think that's it. I really like that picture.
And you can see the corn is already coming up in the
In the
raised beds we
lower
did.
raised bed right
Yeah.
in there. That's sweet corn.
Yep.
Here we go. Here it comes.
It's going to be great.
So yeah.
Whew.
That was the really huge project that we did.
Was the
That I
really
had
big
a
project.
Heart attack in the middle of. Not even
And just for
not even the
record,
middle, just toward the end, close to the deadline.
Yeah, and I truly don't believe that project had anything to do with your heart attack.
No,
like,
I
it
don't
wasn't
think so
like
either.
stressful or
I've tried to make sure people know that.
Yeah,
I think the clogged arteries that were clogged for a long time, when the doctor said, yeah, the Widowmaker was 98%
Yeah.
clogged.
Yeah.
I think that was,
This was not the project.
No.
This project, every time we went there, it was peaceful. It was fun. Everybody was just so kind.
easy to work with,
There were
easy to get
baby
along with.
goats. There were donkeys. there
That's
was a
right.
horse next door. They have
Yep.
a garden tortoise, an actual
Everyone should have a
tortoise.
garden tortoise, I
Yes.
think.
Yes. I mean, people were just amazing to work with. So
Yeah.
that was not the stressor that caused all this.
No.
But it did have a big, it's just big part of the story. So
Yep. Well, I want to really thank the Lord for getting us through all of that, and especially thank Him again for helping us to be at the hospital and have a great team of people to help me through the heart attack and the recovery. And yeah, I mean, it happened on early Tuesday morning, and the doctor sent me home Wednesday at noon and said, after Saturday, you can do whatever you were doing before
yeah,
the heart attack.
Unbelievable.
And so, I went back to work and helped finish all that stuff up. But so thankful for Create and Construct, Ethan and Lance, especially, just were really great to work with. Abner with CJD and Joel with Lazo Irrigation. I mean, I'm forgetting somebody, and I'm sorry.
Ray stepped in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ray helped out with the lighting project.
Yep.
With that, probably I don't know if that would have gotten done if he hadn't done that. So
Amazing.
a lot of amazing people and our friends that we mentioned earlier, and
Yep.
just I mean,
And so many prayers, just so many people
oh my
praying
goodness.
and constantly asking, what can we do? How can we help?
Thank you again to friends
Yeah.
and family just for your
Yes.
love and your graciousness throughout this whole process. And I'm still kind of recovering. I don't feel like I can do stuff that I was doing 8 months or a year ago, but it's getting better every day, and I'm thankful. So
Me
we
too.
we hope that you enjoyed kind of getting a glimpse at what we've been doing the last couple of months and how the Lord helped us to pull all of that together with a lot of help from other people. It was a great project. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And as we teased last week, next week we will be starting a series on church. I think there are a lot of things that you could talk about with church. Maybe you go to church, maybe you don't. Maybe you love church, maybe you hate church, maybe you've had bad experiences. I don't know. Maybe you've had questions. Why does church work like this or like that? Why do certain churches do these things these ways? And we've both been going to church most of our lives, and also some different churches, some different brand name churches or whatever you want to say. And so we don't know everything, but we have some experiences, and we think it's going to be interesting. So I hope you'll join us for that. Thank you for joining us this time. We really appreciate we know your time is valuable, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on the David and Hillary Show.
See ya.